Yo, we are here. Ballsville Podcast. We have myself and John. Elijah's currently at a Yankees game right now with our boy TJ, and let's check the score to see if he's having a good time or not.
What is up?
It's
So,
1-1 against the Nationals right now, bottom of the seventh.
hey, there we go.
So
Close game.
we're hoping it's a good game, but we also hope the Yankees lose.
Hell yeah.
Because
We're not Yankees fans.
yeah, so we're Red Sox and Mets fans, and Elijah's a Mets fan as well. So I don't know what TJ is, but hopefully the Yankees lose in a walk-off homer. So Um, with that being said, hey, it's the Ball Central podcast. You can see us on visually Spotify and YouTube, and audio down below Google, Apple, and Spotify, and formerly known as Anchor, Spotify First Podcasters, which is I think it's a weird name. I mean, it's just basically Spotify, but a different version of it. I guess I don't weird, but we have a lot to talk about today.
We
Got some
do.
Jonathan Taylor stuff, fantasy football, our outlook on the AFC. We're going to, just like last week. We're going to be going over what we think how the AFC teams are going to perform this year, and then next week I'm looking forward to it. John's looking forward to it. Elijah's looking forward to it. Our season predictions plus our season bets, and it's going to be our 1 year anniversary on YouTube. So hey, big week next week. I'm excited. You know, next week is where the money's going to be made because we have a lot of bets. We need to redeem ourselves from NBA and MLB with the way Jose Ramirez and Trey Turner is playing. So, hey,
I mean, it's gonna be close. I think it might go through. Who knows?
Jose Ramirez has one RBI since the All Star break.
It's not going that great.
Yeah. So, with that being said, before we get into it, John, how you doing?
I'm doing okay before the Ramirez stat, Phil. No, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I looked it up.
So Trey Turner has more home runs than his Ramirez RBIs. That's crazy.
4 since the All Star break, 1 since the All Star break. So Trey Turner has a four home runs and two home run games
I
since
know
then.
we didn't think it would happen, but congratulations, Trey
That's 4
Turner.
RBIs to
All right. That's a lot of.
yeah.
They're both slumping. So
I mean, also Madden season is here. We got some ideas cooking on the gaming channel. The usual franchise superstar mode, but we also have a new series coming out this year. Madden rebuilds, but with a lot of different teams. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try to get 32 special guests for their special teams and try to rebuild the team to try to win as many championships as I can in 5 years. So basically, how many championships can me and special guests, depending on their favorite team, win in 5 years? Giants, obviously, John, Elijah, the Jets. You're also going to see some IBTE members over there. Lawrence with the Saints, Kenny with the Falcons, Neil with the Rams, possibly. So I'm excited to see this new series and how John's mind work during this rebuild. Like, do I trade Danny Jones? Do I keep him? Do we give Saquon the money he deserves? It's
hell
gonna be a lot
yeah.
of I'm excited to see how his mind works. Do we fire the front office immediately? Probably, but which wide receivers do we keep? I'm curious to see how John rebuild the Giants since he has the opportunity now.
Do I get to draft too as well?
Yes, we will be. We'll
Ooh.
draft picks who you want. Obviously, it's not the same draft picks as the real life ones, but
Okay.
there's going to be like potential ratings, and they'll give you some stats to help you try to determine if you want this player. So we will be drafting the next right and leaf to replace Danny Dimes. So
That'd be
if we miss, if we miss on a draft pick,
I mean,
oh, hey, it is what it is. So hey,
that's right.
speaking of draft picks, we also had our fantasy football draft, I believe, a couple days ago on Saturday night. Um, we live streamed it on here and on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you want to go see the replay, it's back there. A whole 3 hour stream with a draft and analysis afterward on everyone's team. So a lot of good content there. How are you feeling after the draft, John?
It was good, but it was long. It was very long.
All
Eh,
fantasy football drafts are long.
Yep. Yep. I mean, as they should be. I mean, you should be taking your time. You should be doing your research. You should be interested in potential steals for later rounds. I mean, there's a lot of things to look at, and I liked our analysis. I thought we did pretty well as a group. So yeah, I mean, overall, it was a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, also I thought it was good as well. Tommy actually, did had a decent draft, better than
Had a
last
great
year.
draft,
I,
decent,
I, I mean, I wouldn't say
pretty
great.
great. I mean, hey, let's see
I
how
mean,
he runs his team.
compared to the first draft, it is kind of great. You're right. Okay.
Sure. I mean, compare. I mean, and how lucky is that guy that he can go and have a first overall pick, take a year off, and have another first overall pick, like in our league. I mean, hey, anything is possible, I guess, right? I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah, but also yes, today/yesterday we got the trade mill going. A lot of rumors, a lot of trades going back and forth, a lot of declines because I
A
haven't
lot of
seen them go
declines.
through yet. So I mean, for me, probably I'm trying to get Zay Flowers or Jonathan Smith and Jigba. I'm trying to get one of those two. I think those guys are gonna have big years, and I want them on my team. I'm willing to get Jordan Addison. I'm trying to get one of them on my bench. So I think also maybe upgrade at running, maybe an extra running back like John said earlier. But I mean, I'm content with what I have right now for running backs. Maybe add one more,
Are
but
you?
that's what it is.
Okay. I mean,
Johnny, any trade you're looking for specifically for your roster?
for my roster, I think my weakest position, as many people can say with fantasy football, is tight end. Okay, you either have an elite three tight end, or you have someone at the bottom half. And right now, I have Tyler Higbee. Okay,
Not bad.
who is a number two option to Stafford, who I like, and who is making some plays. So I'm excited for him. But I mean, I have my running back situation. I love. They're both young. They're both could be potential
Even though you
breakouts.
reached on Brees Hall.
I did not reach on Brees Hall. I don't care what everybody says. I took him in the third round. A third round Brees Hall, you're out of your mind. I don't know if you watched the Jets last year, Phil, but while we were hot, while we were at the top of our top, Brees Hall was at the top of his top. Okay, so I'm very excited for that. And by the way, this coming from somebody who drafted a player that's not even going to play for the Indianapolis Colts with their first overall pick, really, because you already had a first overall pick saved for your
Okay,
keeper.
he's gonna go off on any team he goes to.
I don't know. Does he go to a team within the first 5 weeks? Do you know what I mean? And if he doesn't, you don't have a running back. You have to play Sanders and who else do you have? Penny. I mean, hey, the two good running backs, but still.
Also, side note, the fantasypros.com have Brees Hall going 40th pick
Probably, yeah.
ish. 40,
Probably.
43. So
Probably.
that's about in our league, second, third, fourth round ish.
I took him in the third.
Literally,
I had a top third round pick versus a back fourth round pick. So I took the top.
It could have
So
been
I
a worse
wouldn't
pick.
miss him. Well, I mean, he was 9 down, and I think I had like 12 or 14 to go picks. So like,
Imagine I just swiped him before you got to him.
I think people would have, and that's why I took him. You know what I mean? While I took him, so I don't think it was a reach, but I mean,
It is.
it is what it is. Plus, I got Garrett Wilson. I got 2 prime Jets, Phil. I mean, I have to root for the Cowboys and Tony Pollard, but I mean, I got.
Yep. Yes, you do.
I mean, I also like Anthony Richardson and Quentin Johnson. There are 2 rookies that I'm going to watch deeply because I picked them for my team, and I've had success before with rookies going off, so I'm excited for it.
Yep. Well, since Elijah's not here, we love Anthony Richardson here on Baller Central. You know, there's not enough good things we can say about him. He's great to the fans. He's great to the just training staff. I once saw him give a random car to somebody just cause he bought someone a car just cause. So we can't say enough good things about Anthony Richardson. He's Baller Central approved over here. Got to give the
I mean, I drafted him. That's why he's my backup quarterback. I'm telling you that right now. It's gonna be all year. Hell yeah.
Speaking of Anthony Richardson, he may or may not have the star running back that he was expected to play with, and Jonathan Taylor. The Colts recently just granted him permission to seek a trade, which I never got that anyways. Like, what's Jonathan Taylor supposed to do? Tell his agent, hey, look out for trades? At the end of the day, the GM is the one that's going to be looking for the best trade offer. I don't know why.
Sure.
It's the whole you should be granting the GM permission to start looking for trades, not Jonathan Taylor. I never got that phrase to begin with.
It's just connections, Phil. One big connection I can tell you is the Colts have a deep history of trading these running backs. All right, from Marshall Faulk to who did they trade?
Edgerrin James. They trade him.
I think they might have let Edgerrin James go in free agency. They might have traded him away though. I'm not 100% sure. They had somebody way before in the 80s. I cannot remember his name. He went to SMU.
I don't know why asking.
Oh my god. Dude, it's gonna kill me that I.
There's a reason why we don't do good on the grids.
By the way, Phil, like when I tell you his name, he's like a really, really, really good running back. When I tell you his name, you're gonna be like, oh no way. Give me a second. I'm gonna look up SMU running backs. No, but I'm just saying, like the Colts are gonna trade him. So like my question is to where and for how much? You know what I mean? Phil, you drafted him. What do you think?
I mean, Kansas City might be an option. Miami, a name that's been popping up in the rumor mill that I've seen, the Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins.
They had their rookie go down, and obviously it'll be an upgrade over anyone they have, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with that offense, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Jonathan Taylor, they could definitely make some noise in the AFC. So I mean, that
I
would
like that.
probably be the most common answer
Bill,
for any.
do you want that to happen? Like, you're a Patriots
I
fan.
mean, we
Like,
don't want that to happen.
we don't want that to happen
We
at
don't want
all. But damn, you're reporting that. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
No, I have
that's the
heard
name
seen
I've
the
seen. So
Dolphins.
yeah,
I have seen the Dolphins. I've seen the Bills too,
Oof.
because they're always in the hunt for a running
They
back.
they need a weapon. They need a weapon badly, more badly than the Dolphins.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a bunch of people. I think the Ravens could also use a running back. I mean, but I mean, the thing is, I don't think he's gonna go to an AFC team. Do you know what I mean? I think he's gonna go to an NFC team because I don't think the Colts are gonna want it. And by the way, the running back before I was talking about that got traded from the Colts was Eric Dickerson.
Really?
Yes.
So he got traded
They
to the
traded
Rams.
Eric Dickerson, Marshall Faulk, and I'm pretty sure Edrin James. I'm not 100% sure how he got.
They get traded to the Rams. I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's during that trade.
Dickerson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know Eric Dickerson. I know him for the Rams. I didn't know him for the Colts.
But Eric Dickerson also kind of put the Marshall Faulk trade in motion. So that's why, like, the Colts grant permission. So there's no tampering charges or whatever. That's what that kind of means, though. That's why I'm just trying to explain.
Gotcha.
Don't you think that's crazy, though? That the Colts just trade running backs all the time? And these are Hall of Fame guys. Like,
and is there any NFC teams interested? I mean, probably everyone's interested, but
probably everybody. I mean, who needs a running back? I mean, Minnesota.
Yeah, they believe in Alexander Madison, so maybe not.
Do they? I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Who else needs a running back? I've heard Chicago. I don't know if that happens.
They got Justin Fields.
Yeah, I know, but they want to run like a dual system. Yeah, but I mean, it would work the same as with Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? You need a dual threat. You know what I mean? You need to be able to kind of fake the handoff. You know what I mean? And mean it. So, I don't know. I mean, I want to say the Giants, but the Giants aren't anywhere close to that.
Imagine they trade Saquon for Jonathan Taylor.
That would be crazy.
You'd probably be hell upset.
I would. Are you serious? Do not trade Saquon Barkley at all. He's a Giant, hopefully for life.
Okay. So I mean, we'll note the news will come out sooner rather than later. We'll figure out what happens. Hey, maybe he won't get traded at all. Time will tell.
I mean, I think don't you think he's going to get traded though?
He should. I hope so.
I mean, just because of Irsay, you know what I mean, and just his relationship with players. I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how he's still an owner.
I mean, he has good relationship with other players, you know what I mean, like championship players, but like I don't understand why you built up this running back and now you don't want to try to extend him. And I think it's going to drastically change this AFC if they trade him. You know what I mean?
You know, speaking of the AFC, we're going to get into our outlooks. So, same thing as last week. We're going to talk about some teams, who they added, who they dropped, and give us our opinions. Also, one bold prediction per division as well. So let's start with.
I'm excited.
Let's start with the bottom two. AFC's which one? West. I'll let you pick it, John. AFC West or South?
We're gonna start with the bottom South. AFC South.
Hey, South bottom. That only makes sense. So let's start with the Houston Texans. Why not? We'll go bottom to top. I think they had a very good offseason. Dalton Schultz they added from the Cowboys, Robert Woods from the Titans, Jimmy Ward from the 49ers. So they added a lot of offense and defense. But
they had a great draft.
Right. They had a good draft. They got 2 first-round picks in the lottery.
Yep.
What was it? It was C.J. Stroud and Willie Anderson from the Alabama. So good stack right there. They lost Brandon Cooks, they lost John Owens, and they lost one of their defensive ends. So, I mean, for me, they're obviously in rebuild mode, but this is a good start to the rebuilds. You add a tight end who put up numbers in Dallas, a veteran wide receiver, and you get one of the best safeties in the league from San Fran, and also weakening San Fran. Obviously, I don't think C.J. Stroud's going to be ready year one, but this is a nice, defense starting to build around him. Plus, you still have Derek Stingley from last year as well, so that defense is building with Stingley and Anderson now on the team. So this team could be sneakily good in 2-3 years tops. So Also get better weapons around him. Maybe also you still have Damian Pierce, the running back. So
It's
I think
true.
the Texans are doing good job with this rebuild so far.
People think he's gonna have a bigger year too because of the rookie, and Houston looks really good. You know what I mean? Like Houston added this offseason. So I mean it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with their moves and how their rookies progress. But if they progress fast, if CJ Stroud is the rookie that just stands out, like Houston might get scary. You know what I mean?
Right, add a young receiver there.
Yep. Oh my God.
Right. Okay, and then let's go with Tennessee. They got some ads as well. Andre Dillard from the Eagles, to shore up that the offensive line for Derrick Henry.
I love that.
Arden Key, defensive end. Also, they got a linebacker from the 49ers, Al Shire. But they also got some losses as well. Right guard Nate Davis, linebacker David Long, and defensive lineman DeMarcus Walker. They also added D-Hop as well.
That's right. I was waiting for that.
Yeah, I forgot that. I completely forgot about D-Hop.
I was like, yo, D-Hop.
Yeah, so they lost AJ Brown 2 years ago. They lost Woods last year. But D-Hop and Derrick Henry should be two good weapons. But they what's his name? Wide receiver. Yes, Treylon Burks is injured, so we don't know how severe his injury is. But I don't see too much from the Tennessee Titans. I think they should be the second best team in this division when it's all said and done. Who knows if they'll finish with an above 500 record, maybe close to it, a little bit over, maybe in my opinion. But I just don't think that they had their 1 year where they were maybe top 2 seed in the AFC, but I think their time as contenders has come and gone. Their window's
closed.
You think
so?
Yeah, Derrick Henry's aging. D-Hop is aging. They don't have a quarterback.
We haven't seen them play yet, though. I mean, just take that into account. I'm just saying, Derrick Henry did not look like he was aging at the end of last year. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
After that, 12 and a half thing, I don't.
Okay, yeah, I get you on the record thing. I got you. But what I'm saying is that Derrick Henry is that guy that carries teams. Okay.
True, but how long can he do it?
I mean, he can do it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, people say the same thing about Tom, bro. Tom went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl. Tom did not care. You know what I mean? Like, age, don't get me wrong. I get it. It gets to people, especially running backs, okay? But Derrick Henry,
did not get hit as much as Derrick Henry. So.
Yeah, I get that. But Derrick Henry hasn't even played a snap this year, all right? Why don't we just take the year in? I mean,
hey, it's predictions. I'm saying
no doubt. Predict away. But you really predicting Derrick Henry has stepped off before you've seen it?
I say he's gonna start to fall off. I didn't say he's falling off completely.
Okay, but I'm just saying. But when is he gonna fall off? Like that's my.
I think it'll start trickling down this year. I mean,
this year, okay. I mean,
I think he'll. I don't think he'll have better numbers than last year.
I'm gonna hold you to that prediction. All right, I'm holding you to that prediction.
That could be my.
Your big take. Yeah, I don't mean to be like that. I'm just and by the way,
about Titans? Yeah.
I agree with you to a point. They should be the second best team in this division, and this division does not seem strong to me. So they should really be number one, at least with their offensive defensive line ads. You know what I mean? But I just for me, the biggest question is not running back. The biggest question is what's going on in the quarterback room. All right, you got Ryan Tannehill, aging veteran. All right, what are we doing with him? Are we starting him, or are we gonna go with two guys that you took in the first 2 rounds last year? Right.
Yep.
Like they got a second round pick, who was projected to be a first round pick, this year, and then they got who did they have? It was Willis last year.
Yep, Malik Willis they had last year.
Yeah, he was a second round pick.
I believe so.
Okay, so 2 second round picks in 2 years. What's going on in the quarterback room? Who's developing? Who's taking this organization by storm? You know what I mean? Like. If it's Ryan Tannehill, then no offense, progress these guys. Pick someone within 2 years because he's not getting the job done. You know what I mean?
He's been there for a while, and not much has been done.
I just think I think he's regressed. You want to talk about a player that used to be better and is not now? It's Ryan Tannehill. You know what I mean? So it's just I wonder what's gonna happen with G-Hop. I hopefully that adds something. You know what I mean? But I don't mean to be against Indianapolis right now, and maybe this is a huge dip, but them getting rid of Jonathan Taylor is a step back in my direction, and that means 2 other teams can take an advantage in this division, to make it their division. You know what I mean? And I think right now I want to say, and this is a big take, I want to say that's Jacksonville and Houston, and that's almost laughable, Phil, because like they used to be horrible. You know what I mean? And now they're growing and they're getting scary. You know what I mean? Like maybe not Houston this year. It probably still will be Tennessee, but like I don't know. Jacksonville looks scary. And then like I don't know. Phil, where do you want to go next? You want to go Jacksonville or you want to go
Oh, let's go Indy.
Indianapolis? Okay, let's go Indy.
So yeah, Indy. They got some defensive end help. They got Gardner Minshew to help out Anthony Richardson as a mentor.
There you go.
They finally. They've been switching through kickers the last 3-4 years ever since Vinatieri exited the game. They got Matt Gay from former what's it Rams. Yep. They lost Stephon Gilmore, Bobby Okereke, and they lost Paris Campbell to the Giants. So. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, many expect this team to be the worst team in the division, and I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. And they could be losing one of the biggest losses of all time, Jonathan Taylor. So I just no optimism for this team this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe 3 games max they won.
Stop. 4 games? The Indianapolis Colts? That's crazy.
I mean, there's no. What? I mean, Anthony Richardson is probably going to.
That is the only light at the end of the tunnel is Anthony Richardson.
He can only do so much.
I mean, how much can he do? We're gonna have to find out. You know what I mean? Like, can he have a rookie campaign like RG3? You know what I mean? And just light an organization on fire. Like the Redskins were dead before RG3. You know what I mean? Yeah. He played. It completely regeneralized their whole organization. I mean,
their win total is at 6.5, so maybe 4, maybe 4. Maybe like 5 or 6
That's
tops.
Crazy. I mean, I agree just because I think they are taking a huge step back. I think that's my big prediction is that the Saints or the Colts do not win this division. It's not like they're. I mean, maybe that's an obvious take. You know what I mean? Because Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I don't know, but I just the Colts had so much progress. You know what I mean? They had a good draft. They had, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just almost mind baffling this like Jonathan Taylor thing.
Blame Jim Irsay.
It happens all the time for their running backs. They just don't pay their running backs, and it's just like okay, whatever.
Right. Okay. And then the last team in the division, Jacksonville. A lot of people's favorites to win this division. Yep, mine too. They lost Juwan Taylor to the Chiefs, so the Chiefs get stronger. The Jags get worse. On O-line help. They also lost Arden Key, as you mentioned earlier, to Tennessee Titans, but they get a different kicker this year, Brandon McManus from our Broncos kicker, who's been pretty accurate during the Broncos years, and they get back from his gambling suspension, Calvin Ridley, someone I drafted in fantasy football, so I'm very high on this year.
You are high.
I mean, they're coming off a high. Obviously, they lost, in the playoffs, but they did put up one hell of a first round against the Chargers, coming back from 20 plus. Down.
I thought they lost that game. I bet on that game,
yep,
and I bet for them to win that game. And I swear to God, I was going to dinner in Vermont, and like we're on like this ski trip, and we were going out. This is the only night we were going out, and we wanted to have fun. And I checked the score, and they're down 28-0. I'm like, who wants shots? Shots are on me because I just lost. Like, dude, them winning that game, blew my mind. I mean, blew everyone's mind, right? But
yep. Yeah, I mean, for me, they deserve to be. I think they sort of deserve to be the favorites. I'm not gonna say like obvious because you have to earn it at the end of the day. But I mean, I think this is the most talented team in the division. Yes, you have the Titans who have certain weapons. You can never count on Derrick Henry or D Hop because of who they are, name brand. But if you look at it as a whole, you have a young defense that's starting to get their stride. Trevor Lawrence is only getting better this is his 3rd year. He's only getting better. First year was a little bit of a struggle. He's the best quarterback in this division.
That's what I'm saying. He's the best quarterback in this division. Thank you, Phil. I just get to that point. I don't mean to be like that, but like
Travis Etienne is only getting better too. He had a solid last year, and the chemistry with Trevor Lawrence. They got rid of James Robinson, so I mean these two could probably run the division for a while. You get Calvin Ridley back from suspension. I mean, also
he looks explosive too.
Yep.
He really does. Like
last year as well. What's his name from the Cardinals that they got the big contract from? That people said he was going to show up. What's his name?
Oh yeah. I can't remember his name either. Is that Shark? No.
No. Oh, they got Evan Ingram,
Yeah,
who
they do have
people called Stone Hands during his Giants years, but he
We
bounced
did.
back last year. What's his name? The wide receiver from the damn.
It's Kurt.
Oh, Christian Kirk. There we go.
There
Christian
we go.
Kirk had a great year from his first year with the Jaguars. So, I mean, they probably have the
He
best.
had a great year. I still think he's the number one wide receiver. I don't mean to be like that,
Hey,
but
I
he
mean,
is.
I think Calvin really does need to earn it, but I do
Sure.
think Calvin Ridley's better than Christian Kirk, in my opinion, personally. So, I mean,
But you think he's got to earn it going into at least the year?
yeah, he has to perform. Yeah, but I honestly, if you told me to put a depth chart together, it would be Ridley one, Kirk two.
Really? Okay, I'm just saying.
You saw what he did in Atlanta, 1 year
Yeah,
off.
but
You think
but
he'll fix
Kurt,
that?
but Kurt, no one thought he would do what he did last year.
Plus,
Like, and
he's a taller one too. I
Yeah.
mean, your taller receiver should probably be your number one.
yeah. But I mean, I get what you're saying with Ridley. He is very electric, very explosive.
Yeah, we
I
could bet
mean,
on that as well.
yeah, and I honestly can't believe he went from Atlanta to Jacksonville. It's crazy.
So, how do you feel about the Jags this year?
I love them. I mean, I think if Trevor Lawrence keeps doing what they're doing, like he keeps progressing, I mean, they could be a serious contender. You know what I mean? Like this team could probably I mean, they win the division this year and next year, they're gonna run the table for the next 10 years. It's gonna be a Tom Brady thing where they just own this division. And like that's why Indianapolis, Tennessee, and Houston need to get their quarterback rooms in order. And like, I mean, at least Houston's trying. Stroud, you know what I mean? Like that's a great pick. And then you do Will Anderson again at 3, like 2 and 3 is your picks. I mean, I feel like Houston's the only one trying next to Jacksonville. I feel like Jacksonville's going to run away with this division. What do you think?
Are we doing our pick?
I mean, we're going to do that next year. Next week.
No, I mean, our bold take. Sorry.
I mean, if I had a bold pick of anything, it'd be Jacksonville. No doubt, it takes this division. Like it's just not even a question to me. Like I don't, or honestly, let's
here's a bold prediction.
What?
I think the Houston Texans will probably be a game or two within Tennessee's record.
Wow, okay.
That's my bold prediction. I think the Colts will probably be last, but I don't know if Houston can overcome Tennessee this year, but I do think they'll keep it close. I think the battle for third will be very interesting for Houston and Tennessee.
I believe in Anthony Richardson though. I don't know. Like I don't know if I believe in your under. I think the Colts will go over their projected game record. That's gonna be my bold prediction.
6.5.
Shit, 7 games.
Ugh.
I think if he really tries, I know it's not gonna happen.
If he can get hooked 6, I'm calling it.
If you get to 6, hey.
Yeah, my bold prediction. I think the Texans and Titans have close to similar records, maybe a game or two off. That's my prediction.
Okay.
What you got, John? Oh, you said the Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jaguars run away with the division, and I think Indianapolis has. I mean, hopefully they win 6 games. That's at least.
Yeah. Okay, next one, AFC West. Let's start with the Chargers. Terrible ending to the season. A lot of people had high hopes for them, but they shot the bed against the Jaguars, 28-0. They got linebacker help in Eric Kendricks. Some help for the defense that's given up a lot of points and a lot of yards. One of the worst defenses we've seen in a while. They lost a lot of defense as well. Drew Tranquill, linebacker, Nasir Adderley, one of their talented safeties, and Kyle Van Noy, who's probably in retirement right now. So, yeah, not a lot. They didn't get much done on the Chargers side on defense, but they did add not Jordan Addison. They got Quentin Johnson from, I think, TCU, in the draft. So they added some offense, but the defense is still lacking. I mean, I still think, Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams in that offense, Austin Eckler, of course, can keep them afloat. I think they'll be still a very good competitive team in the league, but I can't take them seriously as like championship contenders just yet.
Really?
That defense needs to show up first.
I know, but
and we need to see a little bit more improvement from Herbo.
I believe me, I'm one of those people that says that we definitely need some more improvement from Herbert before I can put him anywhere near where he's being ranked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that defense is more important first, though. That defense needs to get a lot better if they want to contend.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Herbert should also look at someone like Matt Ryan. You know what I mean? And like it's hard to lose leads. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But how do you respond afterwards?
Yep. You have the weapons: Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. A lot of people will kill for
They
those
just
three.
added one.
And Quentin Johnson. A lot of
That's
people will
what I'm
kill for
talking
those
about.
weapons.
I drafted Quentin Johnson. Hopefully,
It's
he's the
it's one of the
outlier.
best offenses in the league. There should be no excuse, but the defense fails them every single time.
Can somebody step up? That's the real question.
Yep. I mean, you have Khalil Mack, you have Derwin James, you have Joey Bosa, you have players on defense. They just got to put it together.
A lot of those guys are injured though.
Yeah,
Sometimes, you know
health
what I
as
mean.
well.
That's health is huge with them. But yeah, I mean, this could be the year they put it together. What do you think? No,
No, I mean, obviously,
no.
I think they'll fight for the playoffs. They could miss it. I wouldn't be surprised if they did miss it, but I think they'll be one of those teams fighting for a playoff position. I don't think they'll win the division, but they'll be definitely fighting for a wild card spot this year.
Okay. Yeah, I think they could definitely be a wild card team. I mean, who doesn't think the Chiefs are going to take this division, right?
Right. Yeah.
Until they don't take it, until the Chargers take it from them, because no offense, I don't understand what Las Vegas is doing, and I don't understand what Denver's doing. So, like, no, but like seriously, I can't wait to get to them. Wait until we get to
Yeah.
them. Seriously,
Yeah, we'll go to Las Vegas right
if
now.
you want,
actually.
I'll change my hat. We don't need to be biased anymore. But I'm just saying. Like overall, I think the Chargers they should be the second best team in this division.
They should, but
I mean, but their defense is it going to hold them? Can Herbert convert when he needs to convert? You know what I mean? And that's putting a lot on one guy. You know what I mean? Which I don't believe in. It's not. Football is an 11-man sport. So what the hell is your offensive line doing? What the hell is your position players doing? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Mike Williams better not be hurt. You know what I mean? Like, people need to like be available. I'm just saying, availability is where the Chargers. You know what I mean? That's
absolutely. Because you had Josh Guyton, Josh Palmer all starting when Mike Williams and Keenan Allen was hurt. We're just thanks. Let's go to Las Vegas. Yeah, they had a very weird season as well. Josh Jacobs is currently on hiatus. Who knows if he'll play this year for them or when he'll play? They lost Derek Carr and Darren Waller, longtime Raiders. So basically, the heart and soul of their team is gone. They lost Jarrett Stidham as well. But a loss they can be proud of is John Gruden. So that's a good loss. But they added Jimmy G to replace Derek Carr. I mean, he may not be better, skill wise than Derek Carr, but Jimmy G wins games. You can say that about him.
I guess.
Marcus Epps is safety, and they got former Patriots wide receiver Jacoby Myers to help replace some of the weapons they got there. So I mean, Josh McDaniels is the head coach there. Obviously, he's going to try to implement his former Patriots offense. Jimmy G, Jacoby Myers, the Patriots are there. They'd probably have some defensive players. Chandler Jones is there as well. So they're basically trying to be the Las Vegas Patriots. So.
That's what I'm asking you, Phil. Phil, what is this team doing? What is like? No offense, but what is going on here?
I mean, obviously you have Devontae Adams and Darren, and they lost Foster Moreau as well at tight end. So they lost both their tight ends. So it's basically gonna have to rely on Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, and Hunter Renfrow, because we don't know when Josh Jacobs is going to play. Also, we got to see how Jimmy G is as a quarterback. Is he going to be able to give those deep throws to Devontae Adams? Is he able to get the plays he needs to certain wide receivers? So there's not going to be a lot of dump off opportunities or check downs over here in Las Vegas. So we guess this is really going to test Jimmy G's mettle. But I'd see him probably. I don't see much from the Raiders. I think it'll be a lot like last year. They'll be in a lot of competitive games, but I think they'll lose the majority of them.
That's wild.
Yeah, I don't see any noise coming from the Raiders this year.
I like the Raiders. I mean, I don't really like the Raiders, but I mean, partially because they're from Vegas and their tickets are so expensive. But I mean, I don't know. It's just
because they're at a 6.5 for wins.
I want to like McDaniels. I just don't, bro. I don't know about you, but like, I feel like if
he's better assistant coach.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If he fails here in Las Vegas, does he ever get another head coaching job ever?
No.
And would he even deserve one? Because he literally didn't sign Derek Carr. You know what I mean? Let a franchise quarterback walk out the door. Okay. So, goes with an old veteran arm who, no offense, he wins games. Good for him. I like Jimmy Garoppolo, but like, what are you telling me with this future? Like, what is the future of the Raiders? Like, I don't know. I don't see them beating the Chiefs. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And who knows how long Devontae Adams is going to stay.
And bro, once people start requesting trades out of that place, it's gonna be bad. And no, that's bad for the NFL. The Raiders are a iconic team. You know what I mean?
All
So
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Next up, someone who also had a bad year last year, the Denver Broncos. They also had a lot of, injuries as well. Russell Wilson was dealing with injuries. Javonte Williams tore his ACL. Everyone on that team was facing injuries. They also got rid of Bradley Chubb. A lot of moves were made. A lot of sadness was being made as well. But in the offseason, they lost some defensive help as well. Draymond Jones, Deshaun Williams. And they also lost someone on the offensive line, Mr. Glasgow himself, left or right guard. But they also gained some help as well. Zach Allen, defensive tackle, Ben Powers at the guard, and the biggest help for offensive line, former San Francisco 49ers offensive tackle Mike McGlinchey, arguably one of the best offensive tackles in the league. So I mean, it's good for Russell Wilson to try to help stay in the pocket. They also fired their coach and got one of the best coaches, arguably of all time, Sean Payton.
He won a Super Bowl for the Cowboys.
Yep, and the Saints.
Now I didn't know, but he won a Super Bowl for the Cowboys.
Sean Payton?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, I'm just saying he has one Super Bowl under his belt and he's considered the best of all time.
I'll say one of the best coaches in the league. I didn't say definitely not the best.
Okay, well I'm just saying. I mean, one of the best. I'm just one Super Bowl.
I mean, I probably choose him over a good amount of coaches right now in the NFL.
I don't know.
To be honest. I think it's definitely a bounce back year for Russ. He was obviously dealing with the new system, a bad coach, and a lot of injuries as well. He's a lot healthier now. I think the future could be bright for this Broncos team, but it all starts with Russ and ends with Russ. But Javonte Williams coming back. I think Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton have a better year than last year. It all depends on
if they can stay healthy.
If they can stay healthy, yeah, health is going to be a big factor for the Broncos. But I do think they definitely bounce back.
I don't mean to be like that, but I don't see how they got better. I see they added offense. I see they added to their line, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I thought they lost some veteran line pieces as well. I mean, I get you added to it, but
no, that's fair.
The real add to this team was Sean Payton, and I get he's a great coach. You know what I mean? But I don't expect this team to be anything more than third place in this division.
Yeah, C.J. Abrams home run in the bottom of the 8th against the Yankees. Thank you.
Nice. So they're
up 2-1. 2-1, middle of the 9th, bottom of the 9th for the Yankees.
Wait, so the Yankees are up or they're down?
They're down.
Nice.
They're down 2-1. So hey, fuck the Yankees. Honestly, they'll probably be third, but I think them and the Chargers will probably go back and forth fighting for second. Not gonna lie to you.
You think so? You think this team is a wild card team?
I think they'll be fighting. I think they'll be just like the Chargers. They'll be fighting for that spot. I can't trust Chargers defense at all.
Oh no way!
I can't. They haven't shown me any reason why to believe in them.
Yeah, but they just have better defensive players than Denver has.
Hey, I mean, it's Denver's health and ability to provide on offense versus Chargers. The inconsistency and defensive struggles because. Yeah, I think there's a stat saying Herbert in the offense has put up a good amount of points, maybe top 5 or some stat. But then the defense has also let up a lot of points and yards, top 5, something like that as well. So,
did the Chargers get rid of their defensive coordinator by any chance?
They might have. They didn't fire their head coach, but they did fire some. I think they fired the DC.
Okay, I'll look that up.
Yeah, but I mean, for Denver. Yeah, I think they bounce back. Russell Wilson has a better year. A year under the belt for the Broncos and a better coach. I think is a better remedy to be a playoff capable team. Well, to fight for the playoffs. I don't know if they'll make it or not. Like I said, we'll do that. We'll think about that. We'll talk about that next week. But they'll definitely be in the race.
Nice.
You feel the same way, John?
No, I think.
Oh, you said third. Yeah.
I think they're. I don't know. I don't think Denver will do better than third personally.
Okay. And let's go with the obvious one. Who we think all think is going to win? Kansas City Chiefs. They lost Frank Clark, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Orlando Brown. So they lost the defensive end, wide receiver, and offensive lineman. But they also gained an offensive lineman and Jawan Taylor from the Jags. And they got some defensive help and Charles, the defensive end. So, I mean, this is obviously the favorite to not only probably win the Super Bowl, but their division as well. They're the champs, the defending champs. You can never count out Mahomes or Kelsey. I mean, there's just nothing much we can other to say. They're the division champs, defending champs for a reason. Until proven otherwise, that's how it's going to be for this division.
And I think somebody steps up. Sky Moore, Kadarius Tony. There's
Yep.
going to be a second receiver that steps up in this offense this year.
Right. So we all agree Chiefs are winning this.
Yeah, Chiefs win this division.
Bold take. You know what? Denver finishes second in the division. I'll go with that.
Bold take. Denver finishes last in this division.
Oh, that's definitely bold.
McDaniels has a better year, which is wow. If that happens, crazy.
Oof. Okay. So let's move on to the NFC North. See, yeah, hell of rivals in this one. Let's start with the Cleveland Browns. See, they lost John Johnson, their safety, to the Rams, who went back home. Greedy Williams, their former second-round pick, went to the Eagles, but then got cut, so he's a free agent again. Maybe they bring him back.
Phil,
yeah,
Phil, I wanna reverse my statement on the Broncos. I'm gonna stop being a hater, and I would like to say I apologize for the hater comment. And I'm gonna say the Chargers fight for that wild card spot.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. They also lost to David Clowney for the Browns, but I think he's just signed with the Ravens, I believe. So
interesting. Okay.
Division rival. So this could be their first full year with Deshaun Watson. I expect an improvement from him from last year, because I mean there's a lot of pressure on you. They traded for you throughout your scandal. If you don't produce, they're going to look stupid for paying all that money for nothing. So you have to show up this year. I mean, not like win a Super Bowl or anything, but at least have a decent season, like a productive season. They have the weapons. Elijah Moore got added. Delvin Tomlinson, defensive tackle, defensive help. Juan Thornhill at safety. They added someone to help out Amari Cooper. Kareem Hunt's no longer there, but they still have Nick Chubb, arguably one of the best running backs in the league. But I mean,
that's what he wanted. You know what I mean? He wanted those touches.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson has a good offense. He just got to show up, and I do think he has a better year than last year because he got some of that rust off from that suspension. So I think they'll have a decent year. What do you think, John?
I don't know. This is a hard division for me because I really like the Bengals, but I mean, like, I also think Pittsburgh takes a jump, and I think Baltimore. There's no way they did not get better. You know what I mean? So when it comes to Cleveland, it really does fall on Deshaun Watson, and if he can play up to the par that he's getting paid. And last year wasn't the case. So I think hopefully this year they gave him weapons, they gave him time, they gave him an offseason to progress with people. You know what I mean? No distractions. Hopefully he takes that leap this year. I don't know if he will. Do you think he will?
Who? Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he takes the leap.
You think he does?
I mean,
okay.
we saw the talent he had in Houston Texans at the Houston years. No matter what, I mean, yes, he had the scandal and everything. So, but solely talking about his talent, he's a decent quarterback. Maybe he can show that flash he did in Houston. But Amari Cooper, no slouch. David Njoku, no slouch. You have talent around you. You just got to make the plays. And I still think Deshaun Watson definitely still has that talent in him. So he definitely will make a jump.
Do you think it could be the system? Do you think now that he has a whole offseason to play with the people he's working with, like he gets better?
Yeah, I definitely think he gets better just because the rust is off. There's no excuses this year. No suspension, nothing holding you back. Still a good offensive line. You just got to show up now.
If he doesn't win, Cleveland can move on. Oof. I don't know how they're going to move on, but they're going to need to soon.
Right. Next up, Pittsburgh. They had a up and down year last year. They still got to 500. Mike Tomlin's specialty, a little bit above 500. They added Pat Pete. They added offensive line help. Also added linebacker Cole Holcomb, but they also lost one of the best cornerbacks in Cam Sutton, and they lost Miles Jack, who just retired after signing with the Eagles after 2 weeks. So, but wow. I think we're going to see a lot of progression from Kenny Pickett and the young offense this year. I think Najee Harris gets better. It's just the offensive line that worries me. But I think Pickens and Deontay Johnson get better. I see a lot of improvement coming from this Pittsburgh offense. I mean, I'm very high on Deontay Johnson and Pickens this year. John drafted him.
So am I. Yeah.
But I just think that the defense is always going to be there. even though it's aging, Minka Fitzpatrick, Cam Hayward, etc. But I do think that the Steelers step up with their offense this year because they were struggling last year with Pickett and others. So, how do you feel about the Steelers this year, John?
I mean, I think Kenny Pickett has I think he has a better year. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I drafted George Pickens. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see him play and see
A
him
little bit
ball
of
out.
bias.
I mean, yeah. I mean, no. But he reminds me of DK Metcalf. I think he's gonna have a slow year to start, and then hopefully he progresses. You know what I mean? But he's a big type wide receiver that hopefully he can help Kenny out later on in the season. And I mean, hopefully it works out. I think I do see Pittsburgh getting a little bit better. You know what I mean? Each year,
Right.
they did lose some defense, but they also drafted pretty well. They got Joey Porter Jr. in the second round or something. So I mean, he just had his first interception. I think he'll do pretty well this year, rookie wise. Yeah, I mean, overall, I do see Pittsburgh competing for that second, third spot with Baltimore, probably.
Right. Speaking of Baltimore, they dealt with a lot of injuries last year as well. Lamar Jackson definitely was one of them. Their running back last year, J.K. Dobbins, was dealing with injuries. They dealt with a lot of injuries, but they also got some losses. They lost an important offensive line piece in Ben Powers, offensive guard. They lost their safety, Chuck Clark, who went to the Jets, who's now out for the season. They also lost defensive end Calais Campbell, so the defense took a hit. But they did what they lost in defense, they gained in offense. Lamar Jackson is always a plus to have back at quarterback. They drafted Zay Flowers, electric receiver from Boston College, and they got a veteran who hasn't played in a while, a year and some change, Odell Beckham Jr. So I think a lot of good things will happen with this offense this year. You have decent weapons. You got rid of Marquise Hollywood Brown because his hands, and you got in. I think Zay Flowers and OBJ is a nice replacement. Mark Andrews is always a reliable tight end to throw to. He's one of the best, top 5, top 3, top 4, whatever you want to say, in the league. Probably top 5 is better. And hey, you have Harbaugh there. You have Justin Tucker, one of the best kickers of all time there. I could see a good season from the Ravens this year.
I think you're right. I think the only one that's going to mess it up for the Ravens are the Ravens.
Yep.
You know what I mean? With their injuries. I mean, Lamar Jackson getting injured last year, I think it was a big part of this team going down because Andrews doesn't get targeted like Lamar targets him. Do you know what I mean? Like it's almost a completely different offense with Lamar Jackson. So I mean, it's really going to depend on how healthy he could stay. I mean, you did say earlier that Clowney signed with the Ravens,
Yep.
So they did upgrade their defense a little bit, but
a little bit, yeah.
But I mean that it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, this offense bails out the defense. But I mean, in years past, we've always seen the defense bail out the offense. You know what I mean? Right. So the only unfortunate Ray Lewis isn't here anymore. You know what I mean?
No,
but.
And the last one, the division winners from last year, the Cincinnati Bengals. Their offseason was decent. The last couple weeks have been shaky with the whole Joe Burrow injury, but he will be a week 1 starter. Their offseason was really shaky. They lost both their starting safeties in Von Bell and Jesse Bates. So their defense takes a huge hit with that. They lost Hayden Hurst, one of the reliable tight end veterans. A year after, they lost C.J. Uzma. But they do add some help offensively. Cody Ford, old lineman. They also added Orlando Brown, former Chiefs, for the tackle. And they also got some safety help in Nick Scott, I think former Ram. So, I mean, obviously, losing just a talented safeties like Bates and Bell is going to hurt you. So, I don't know if they recover from that. But, you still have Joe Burrow. You still have one of the best receiving corps in the league. Joe Mixon will be in the mix as well. I still think they are one of probably the top 3 teams in the AFC, if you think about it. So I think they'll definitely be in the mix for that division, no matter what. So I think they'll have the same Bengals year, maybe a little bit worse than last year, but they'll definitely be fighting around this year. What do you think, John?
So who do you think takes it if it's not the Bengals? I mean, I know we're going to talk about this later, but
I'll save it for my bold prediction.
I know. Okay.
How you feel about the end? Yeah, I'll save it for my bold prediction.
Okay, that's gonna be your bold prediction. Who comes out of the pack? My bold, or how I feel about the Bengals.
Yep.
I think they did get better on their offensive line. I think I think you're right with it. Really is going to depend on Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and how healthy T Higgins is and how healthy like their weapons are. You know what I mean? So far they've really stayed the course and they've really been healthy. And I think you're right. Nixon has a better year because they up their offensive line, but I don't know. I think you're right, as in they do fall off a little bit. I mean, I don't know what it is, but this team is ultra competitive right now. You know what I mean? So as long as they don't lose that, they might take this division, but I don't know. This division is it's stacked with people willing to prove themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
And on the up and up.
Gotcha. So, for a bold prediction, you want to go first or shall I?
Okay. My bold prediction is that Joe Burrow is not the best quarterback in this division.
So, performance-wise, you won't be the best performing quarterback.
He will not be the best performing quarterback in this division. Overall, I
I'm
think
guessing going Lamar.
I'm gonna go Lamar. Yeah. If he stays healthy, shit, he'll do better than Joe Burrow. Sorry, I don't mean to be like
Right.
that. Cool.
Okay. For my bold prediction, I got the Ravens winning the division this year.
Do you?
I think
like that.
a lot of talk about Lamar this last couple of years. Calling him a running back, saying he doesn't deserve the money. He got paid. He got chance to heal up. Show him what you got.
He finally got weapons too.
Yep, he got better weapons.
Odell.
Yep,
Come on.
Odell, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. Hey, all the haters kept saying you're a running back. You don't deserve to get paid. This season, show up. Have a
And
ball.
Bates.
Yep,
Bates is also in there. So I mean,
got Bateman. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, my bold prediction is they win the division.
that's a good prediction. I like that.
Okay.
It's really going to depend on their defense, though, don't you think?
And the health of the offense.
Lamar Jackson, yeah.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins, Lamar Jackson, of course. So it all depends on those two. And hey, we saved the best for last. Our division, the one that we're most knowledgeable about, the AFC East. So, where do we start, John? Where
Where would you like to start? You
let's go with the worst team in the division. Let's go to New England Patriots. So
really? Okay. You're willing to say that off rip?
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I mean, you look at everyone's rosters. We are the worst in the division.
Sure. On paper, yeah, why not?
Yeah. So they lost a lot. They lost Devin McCourty to retirement, so safety help is much needed. They lost Jonnu Smith back to the Falcons, so tight end depth is gone, but they did add a tight end as well. Jacoby Myers is now gone, longtime Patriot, but they do retain one of the best slot corners in the NFL in Jonathan Jones. Mike Gesicki from the Dolphins is added to the tight end depth to replace Jonnu Smith, so it's Gesicki and Hunter Henry, which I like those as a tight end duo, arguably one of the best tight end duos in the league. And then you to replace Jacoby Myers, you get Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, there's a lot to say about the Patriots this year. Is Bill Belichick's time winding down? Is Mac Jones really that guy to lead your team? And you don't have Matt Patricia or Joe Judge leading the offense. You have Bill O'Brien, who has been an offensive coordinator before. He's been a decent offensive coordinator, so he'll have his opportunity to prove himself. Mac Jones and the coordinator, but
He's won a Super Bowl, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, compared to our roster, compared to everyone else's, I just don't see it being a good year. Maybe like 7-8 wins max. Because last year the Patriots were fighting for a division, not division, but a playoff spot. The last playoff spot, the last week against Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I think will probably be the same, but maybe they'll get knocked out. Maybe like week 15, 14. I just don't believe in this Patriots roster just yet.
Do you think Matt Jones has a better year than last year?
Yes, yeah,
okay,
I do.
Cool.
You have a better coordinator. I think the coordinator is going to make a huge difference.
You think he turns it around a little bit? I mean, I hear you on the 7-8 wins. I get the fact that you look at the rosters of everyone else in the division. You go, okay, we're just not contending. You know what I mean? But I mean, what I'm saying is and we've talked a lot because Phil, I don't like that self pity from fan bases. You guys have won a lot, so you expect a lot. Are you okay with Mac Jones just taking the year to learn and try to get better? You know what I mean?
I mean,
what I'm saying is if he struggles this year, are you going to be talking about getting rid of Mac Jones? There
time, a
is.
lot of dedication. But there's also the other half of it that people don't really like to talk about. Like what happens after those 6 Super Bowls are done with. There's obviously the time where the teams are winning and not winning. We're in the not winning phase. We're in the rebuild. We should be in the rebuilding phase. I don't think we should be competing for anything right now, just because we don't have the rosters to go for it. We don't have the pull that we used to have with Tom Brady for free agents. So
Sure.
we should be rebuilding. But with Bill Belichick's kind of tough because he's still trying to prove that he can do it without Tom. He's trying to go for crazy moves that he'll think that will work off, but they don't. And drafts, trades, etc., signings.
I mean, you added Ezekiel Elliott, for
Yeah,
goal
I
line
mean
work.
Zeke. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think that's a pencil pusher. I don't think that's a move that could say, "Hey, we could fight in this division." No.
No, no, but what I'm saying is like at least he's a veteran voice. You know what I mean? At least he's. I mean, you might not like it if you have Stevenson's in fantasy, but he's a great piece to keep Stevenson's healthy. You know what I mean? Like you can
Yeah,
use him in the third quarter when you don't want to run Stevenson's because he's already ran like a lot during the game. You know what I mean?
yeah. I just don't think that he's a piece that puts us over the top.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
No
then
doubt.
I mean, with the whole Mac Jones thing, I mean, we probably will be a middle of the pack, probably lower middle of the pack team for a
Hmm.
while now. We won't be able to get those talented quarterbacks that you see in like the draft. So
Sure.
we'll keep Mac Jones for now until like we are in a position to like fully commit to a rebuild.
Sure.
Mac Jones is our guy because I don't think.
I
But
don't mean to be like that, but maybe this is my bold take, but Matt Jones is not that bad of a quarterback.
he isn't. No.
I mean, I just like what I'm saying is like first year he comes in, makes a Pro Bowl, the Patriots do pretty well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, because people called out. So I mean,
well, yeah,
I,
okay, whatever.
I don't think
It's a Pro
I don't
Bowl.
think Pro Bowls too seriously.
Well, I get you, but I'm just saying he had a good rookie year, did he not? Where
Yeah,
he was probably the second best rookie. If we're being honest, right? I mean, and then the next year you're kind of competing for a playoff spot. I mean, I'm not saying the dude is like great, but I'm just saying like the fact that you had Patricia and Judge even in that offensive coordinator role to begin with, and this kid didn't request a trade from you guys. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'm willing to see how he does. I mean, I just he seems knowledgeable. He seems pretty good. You know what I mean? But he seems like he needs some time.
right.
So I mean, I'm fine with you trying your best. I mean, I don't mean to be like that, but I hopefully the Jets beat you twice this year. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less from the Jets
I
fan.
mean, no, but we've lost. We've like as Jets fans, like I'm not trying to be like that. We've lost the last 3 years.
Well, I mean, hey, times changes. I mean,
Hopefully,
obviously,
yeah, that's
we've
what
done.
we're getting
The
to.
Patriots have dominated the league, dominated the division for 20 years. Obviously, that's not going to be forever.
But I
The roles are
think
going to
you're
flip.
dead. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I think injuries play a factor in this league. I think momentum plays a factor in this league. And I mean, I'm not trying to say you guys are going to go anywhere, but I'm just trying to say if Matt Jones can progress and become a guy for you guys, at least where he like, you know what I mean, feels comfortable and is established, that's a win for you guys this year. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
but I also think we still need the weapons around for him to even
Oh
do
yeah.
that. I'm not
Yeah, he
confident in
doesn't
our offense
have
at
weapons.
all.
Yeah, yeah. No, he still needs people, but
Um, let's see, John, who would you like to go talk about next?
Miami, seriously.
Miami. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go with Miami. Um, yeah, they had a rough year last year too. Tua had a very scary injury. The
Mhm.
concussions were very scary. He
Mhm.
didn't play in their playoff game in the Bills, but the Dolphins almost beat the Bills with their third string quarterback, Skylar Thompson.
Mhm.
So yeah, very surprising year for the Dolphins. Injuries hurt them. They almost beat the Bills in the first round, but they also got a lot of ads and cuts as well. They lost Byron Jones. They cut him. He's still a free agent, by the way, Byron
Mhm.
Jones. They lost Landon Roberts, former linebacker for them. They
Sure.
lost Jasicki, their tight end weapon. But they also added former Jets wide receiver and Patriots wide receiver, Braxton Berrios. Did they add Mike White too?
They added Mike White. He's the
They added
backup
Mike
quarterback,
White as well. They got some defensive help in David Long.
which
And
honestly is a great sign.
yeah. And they also added cornerback from the Rams, Jalen Ramsey, but he will be out most likely until the playoffs due to a scary injury.
What?
So yeah, the reports
What happened
are,
again?
huh?
What
It
happened?
was an injury.
Wow. How though?
I don't know the
Season?
exact terminology, but it was during training camp.
No.
I think it was a leg, foot,
Oh,
lower
damn.
body
Gotcha.
injury.
Gotcha.
So
So he'll be back later in the season.
yep, he will be out most likely until the start of the playoffs or like few of the last weeks of the
Gotcha.
season. Yankees lose line in a row. Thank God. Okay. So yeah. Just for the Dolphins, I mean, honestly, you go as far as Tua takes you. His health. When healthy, this could be a scary offense, a scary team. But without him, not doing much.
I don't know, Phil. I think this team, what you really gotta look at. I mean, yeah, I guess you do go as far as two takes you, but this defense is scary to me.
But
You know what I mean?
they also don't have Ramsey or Byron Jones anymore.
Sure, but you got
Can you
Chubb.
name their second cornerback right now?
I can't, but I can name Bradley Chubb. You know who Bradley Chubb is?
Yep.
You know who Christian Watson is? I'm talking about defensive
Wilkinson,
linemen,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Wilkinson. My bad. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I messed him up. I confused him with the guy.
Hey, that's their opportunity. You better get to the quarterback, or else he's gonna, he's gonna throw it over all the secondary.
I think their D line and their linebackers are pretty damn tough. I mean, they did upgrade somewhat. You know what I mean? They had a decent draft. But I really like Barrios as a wide receiver ad. But I mean, I don't know. This team probably will go as far as Tua takes them, but I don't. Tua has like a custom helmet now, right? So hopefully it keeps the concussions down. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Oh yeah, I think I saw a little bit of it.
Yeah, there's like they added like a compression helmet or something. I don't know. It's something specifically for his head or something. Miami invested in it.
Do you think they should be wearing the helmets that they wore in training camp during the games?
I want to say
they keep hyping up the helmets because
yeah,
I see on the news outlets. Oh, with these helmets, concussions have been down 20%. I mean, if they're bringing down concussions, why not just put them in the game?
Yeah. Well, they look stupid. They don't want people like us to be like, I hate the fact that they wear those things now. It's never like whatever. You're supposed to be injuries. Yeah, I mean, all these people with all these different opinions. I'm 100% on your side. I think if it keeps down concussions, we should put them in the game.
Right.
But
you want more entertainment and value instead of safety.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and that's the crap part about this, because when Tua went out and came back, and I called him heroic, and other people, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't expect him to go the second game if he really couldn't go. And when he got knocked in like the first 5 minutes of that game, that was scary for everybody. You know what I mean? No one wanted to like, it's the concussion is like a scary conversation, because he gets 2 more of those and his career basically is over. You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it for him to play football anymore. You know what I mean? Because like now we're talking about like life expectancy and how, like, you know, CTE really affects like a football player. You know what I mean? And like, I like this Michael Orr thing that came out. Like, it's not the fact that they had all this money. It's the fact that he played longer years. You know what I mean? And like, if you were really my family, if you were really part of me, you would share or at least help me to get out of that situation. You know what I mean? Because that's what football players do. They play for as long as they want to, or as long as they have to earn enough money for their family. And I mean, like, you have to play at least three years to get a pension, to get healthcare forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's it in itself. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Right. Next one. Buffalo Bills, because I know who we want to talk about last.
We don't have to talk about them last.
No, we'll talk about them last. Okay. So they lost some very important defensive depth and Tremaine Edmonds to the Bears. Mm-hmm. They lost some wide receiver depth, which they barely had any anyways. And Isaiah McKenzie. They lost veteran quarterback Case Keenum. Mm-hmm. But they did add some lineman help in Connor McGovern, Deontay Hardy at wide receiver, and they got to they re-signed Jordan Poyer. So, to be honest, the Bengals took their soul last year. You know how I kept saying the Suns took the Mavs soul?
I don't know if I believe in that. Stop.
No, John, hear me out. Hear the examples.
Yeah, I hear the examples.
Wait. But, Game 7 blown out at their home, correct?
Yeah.
The same thing happened against Cincy and Buffalo. They got blown out at their home, 20+.
Yeah, I get that, but
I just didn't think this team got worse. Obviously, Tremaine Edmonds was a huge piece for this defense. They didn't get Stephon Diggs any help.
Sure.
I don't see the Bills being too competitive this year. Obviously, they're still one of the best teams in the AFC.
You don't think they're too competitive?
Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs is one of the best duos in the league, no matter what Colin Cowherd thinks.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
I'll show you his duos list after.
I don't even want to look at it. I think I saw it like for 3 seconds and I almost threw my phone at the TV.
So, I'm not too high on the Bills.
You're not high on the Bills this year? What are you, bro? I get Miami is. You think Miami's beating the Bills?
We'll see my bold
Oh
prediction.
no, but I mean, we'll see your bold prediction, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not underestimating the Bills one speck. All right, the Jets are going to be good, but the Bills are also going to be damn good. Where it's going to really come down to the wire on Monday night when they play on 9/11. Like, it's gonna be a hell of a game because I think the Bills got better on defense. I think they were unhealthy last year. You know what I mean? And that's really why they lost to Cincinnati. And Cincinnati didn't get better on defense. You know what I mean? So I mean, like, I get the whole soul thing, but it really works in basketball because they're so close to each other. You know what I mean? Minus pads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a different game, and because one person can completely take over a basketball game. Not only one person can take over a football game. You need other people. Like, if Josh Allen was against 11 people, he'd be dead. You know what I mean? It would suck for him. You know what I mean? But I do think he will put up numbers. I don't know. I don't know. I do think, I don't know what to say. I think if the Bills get Jonathan Taylor, I'm going to be a little bit afraid because that's the only thing the Bills need is Jonathan Taylor, and these guys are on the brink. Like, Phil, look at me. We've talked to Bills fans. Like, look me in the face. Seriously, Elijah doesn't believe this. Elijah does not believe this, but we've talked to Bills fans. In New York. You've talked to them. Tell me they don't expect to go to the Super Bowl.
They should. Yeah.
But they look me in the eye and they go, you know what, we're going to the Super Bowl, right? And I'm just like, I don't think you're going to the Super Bowl.
I feel like every team's fan base says that, though.
I mean, they do, but
especially Cowboys fans.
You've lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. 4, if you're a fan of this team, you should know that. You know what I mean? So, like, no offense, but you'll see me in 2 seconds. I am not Rex Ryan, all right? I believe in jinxes, okay? And I believe when you do that, you jinx your team. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Bills will be good. I think the Jets and them will be battling it out.
Gotcha. And hey, speaking about the Jets, let's get right into it. John, would you like to take the lead on this one? Your team.
Yeah, I mean, we needed a quarterback. We got Aaron freaking Rodgers, Hall of Famer. Okay. We need an offensive coordinator. We got apparently the worst coach that ever coached in his whole life, in Nathaniel Hackett. But, got Aaron Rodgers 2 MVPs. So I'm pretty excited to see what that offense looks like compared to last year. Especially after watching Hard Knocks and seeing what Nathaniel Hackett's doing. I think Sean Payton is super out of line with his comments. And I mean, I'm gonna keep saying that because I think this Jets offense is gonna prove them wrong. But I mean, we added Lazar, we added Miko Harmon, we had a pretty good draft. We added some more DNs to our already stocked D line. I mean, I don't know. I hope the Jets take the division. I hope we're a playoff contender. I hope the veteran quarterback thing does the same thing it did in Tampa with Tom, that it did in LA with Matthew Stafford, that it will do in New York with Aaron Rodgers. Okay? And by the way, let me tell you something. After that year that they moved, right? Tom Brady went to Tampa, won a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford went to Los Angeles, won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I mean, they also had home Super Bowls too. Let's not discount that fact, okay?
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. I just the momentum of this team is really it's really going and it's good. But I mean, I don't know. There are a lot of questions still, and we haven't really seen them play. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's hard to be a Jets fan and go into the season because there's so much hope. And the last time we've had hope was when the Jets were like semi-good in the 90s, and then they got
Mark Sanchez.
End of the year. No, not even that. Like, I'm talking about what's his hell? What's his
You're a player, not mine.
No, it wasn't a player, it was a coach. Who was the coach that coached the Cowboys with Romo?
Wade Phillips?
No, it was before Wade.
Jimmy Johnson.
No, it was the guy who coached with Belichick in New York.
Parcells?
Yes, thank you. Bill Parcells. The last time the Jets were really good and expected to go to the Super Bowl was Bill Parcells. The Rex Ryan thing, I will give you that we were really good for 2 years and we did We did want to do that. You know what I mean? But it wasn't that feeling. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it, but like I think because it was a rookie quarterback or it was a young quarterback, it didn't have that feeling of we were gonna win. You know what I mean? Ever.
Right.
Like Mark Sanchez just couldn't get over that hump. You know what I mean? And then the Jets just like stopped paying for like players after they lost the second time in the AFC Championship game. They just stopped like paying contracts. They went with cheaper players.
For me, I think the Jets. What 7 wins last year?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
They were. I mean, they ended the year rough. I think they won 1-4 to end the year. They lost.
It was pretty tough.
3 or 4 straight, and then one against the Seahawks, I think. But they were. This was with Zach Wilson and Mike White, and you get an improvement in the quarterback room with Aaron Rodgers, and that probably adds like a 3, 4, 5 wins to that win total. So I mean, the Jets team is talented already. The wide receivers, the defense, Sauce, Quentin Williams, et cetera.
Yeah,
they were one of the teams that were just a quarterback away. And Aaron Rodgers, you could say what you want about him, what he does outside of off the field, what he says, et cetera. But he is one of the most talented quarterbacks we've seen in this league, and the Jets have him. Who says they can't make a deep run?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think the chemistry might be a little lacking the first couple of games. They got to get their bearings together. It might take a while for them to click, but when they do, I think around playoff time, I think they'll make some noise. So very high hopes for the Jets, and I'm hoping I'm jinxing for the Jets, but I'm just giving my honest opinion. I think the Jets make some noise. So.
That's so nice.
What we got for our bold predictions?
From this division.
Yep.
Tua makes a splash. He doesn't get injured this year, and he makes a huge splash.
Okay. The Bills finish in 3rd.
Wow. That could be to a splash. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, I just think, yes, Ramsey and Byron Jones not playing definitely hurts the Dolphins, but I do think that the Bills' magic is kind of gone.
You think so?
You could call me a hater. That'd be perfectly fine. I wouldn't argue with you, but I just think the Suns and Mavericks theory. The Bengals took their soul, their competitiveness.
It's just different, but I hear you.
I think they don't bounce back from that. It's
That's
tough.
Crazy.
Stephon Diggs was reportedly frustrated. They didn't get better on offense at all, and they still don't have a running back. They got
better on defense. Though. They got way better on defense. Like
they lost their best linebacker.
No, but Von Miller was injured in the playoffs.
Okay, and Von Miller got older.
So was all their safeties. They had like 3 safeties out.
They get Trey White back as well.
Yeah. They got Pryor back. They got, you know what I mean? Like they got
linebackers are going to be huge, and
Edmonds, you're saying?
True. They're going to have I'll give you that. They're going to have a good defense, but on offense, where you have to score the ball, no improvements. Josh Allen's still your number 1 running back. Stephon Diggs is still the only receiver there. Gabriel Davis.
What if they trade for Jonathan Taylor? What if Jonathan Taylor, the guy on your fantasy
team, my opinion changes then.
What?
My opinion
changes. Oh, okay.
Until they find. Until they find a running back,
that is a huge piece. So I guess your opinion can change.
Until they find a running back that can legit help the team, or a wide receiver to help Stephon Diggs with something.
What if James Cook gives you big numbers for the first couple of weeks?
Okay, then he's your running back. But we haven't seen him be the number 1 role yet. So
absolutely, you're 100% right.
So yeah, I'm not high on the Bills this year. The offense, the defense might have improved, but. Kevin Durant said your job is to score the ball at the end of the day, and
that's right.
I don't trust the Bills offense that much to score, especially with running. Josh Allen can't be your number 1 quarterback and running back.
That's facts.
So,
I'd say the same thing about Matt Ryan. I'd say the same thing about Tom Brady. I'd say the same thing about Eli. If you really talk to him at the end of the day, if you lose the game because you don't score enough points, it's on your quarterback. No offense.
Right, David Tyree made plays. Julio Jones made plays.
Sure.
Mario Manningham made plays.
But they made plays because of those players. You know what I mean? Like they made plays because they stepped up and they got them the ball. You know what I mean? Like Josh Allen might need to step up. He might need to show people who he is again because he
does need to cut down the turnovers as well.
I get that.
But also,
he runs a lot. That's why
the Bills haven't. I mean, it's just like Lamar Jackson. The Bills haven't given him this much wide receiver help because you think about it. Before Stephon Diggs, who did Josh Allen really have on offense?
Shit, I don't even know. Who did he throw to?
Exactly.
I can't even think of one.
Dawson Knox. I mean, he has.
Is he even on the team?
No.
I don't even remember.
Also, Dawson Knox is reportedly going to be the number 2 tight end now because of who they brought in, Dalton Kincaid, I think. Yeah.
Well, I think Kincaid will play that slot position. I think they'll move him to wide receiver. I think
Yeah,
they'll play both of them at one time. I think it'll be a Patriots.
Yeah, I'm not very high on the Bills. Ever since the Giants got Dayball, Bills offense been looking shaky.
They have. I mean, that's something I'm glad you brought up. I'm really glad you brought that up, just because, like, as a Giants fan, like, that's huge momentum, for us. But, like, at the same time, like, if you're trying to win a championship, I can't believe you let your offensive coordinator just walk, you know what I mean, to another team.
Right. So, it's 1:14, so we're probably gonna run a little bit late. That's fine. Yeah. We got 2 things. We're gonna do the immaculate grid. But we need to get a solid grid out here.
Yeah, our grids are
we got to prove that we can do it without Elijah just one time. So we changed websites. Same concept. We only have 9 chances to get a perfect grid. But I hope this is a little bit easier. So John, let me know when it pops up for you.
We should cheat and put one of our teams in, but I'm just saying.
That'd be hilarious. Okay, so your top bracket.
Oh, the New York Jets, baby!
Yep. So the Dolphins, Jets, and Texans are the top. On the left, Saints, Broncos, and Cardinals. So 9 guesses. We're not going for rarity. We're going for just finishing the bracket. John, would you like to start?
I would like to start. I'm going to go Miami Dolphins, New Orleans Saints. We're going to go Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush did pick for Dolphins. Reggie Bush. Okay. Can I go Jets and Broncos?
Sure. Go ahead.
Tim Tebow.
Sure. That's a great one.
There you go. I wanted an excuse to say Tim Tebow. So we are good.
You could also pick his wide receiver.
True, but I want to say Tim Tebow.
Got you. How rare do we get it?
21%.
All right. Cool.
John, what you got?
Give me a second. All right.
Oh, okay. I think this actually might be the bracket the group we finish.
What? Why?
I feel confident. I'm feeling confident. Yes.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you're feeling confident. Let me go. Hey Phil, I've got a question for you. This is one for you. Who was that quarterback that took out Peyton Manning? That beat the Patriots when we were in college?
Brock Osweiler?
That's who it is, and that's Houston Texans, Denver Broncos.
The guy who robbed the Texans for all their money.
Yeah, exactly. Let me get a lower rate on that too. Come on now.
Damn, that was very popular.
Damn, it was.
That was 54%. That was very 50%. Popular.
Well, I mean, hey, he robbed them for all that money.
Right.
That was a good pull. I'm just saying.
Broncos, Dolphins, Brandon Marshall.
There you go. That's an easy pull. Oh, come on.
That probably is a lot more common than Brandon Osweiler or Brock Osweiler. Not gonna lie to you.
Let's see.
13%. Never mind.
People forgot. Jeez. All right.
Okay, who we got?
Miami Dolphins, Arizona Cardinals, or Jets and.
Which one? Whatever one you feel most confident in.
I don't feel confident in anything right now. Give me a second.
Take another guess then.
Well, yeah, you take another guess. Go ahead.
Saints, Texans, Tyrann Mathieu.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Told you, I feel confident about this one, John.
Nice.
19%. Let's get it. Oh, it's not for me to carry this one. No,
it might. Honestly, I'm blanking with the Saints and Jets.
Oh, Texans, Cardinals.
Somebody. Okay, yeah, good. Oh, bam, easy.
Oh, that's yeah, we heating up. Hold on, we heating up. Okay, hopefully it shows. JJ Watt. There we go. We need 3, John.
All right. Saints and Jets. There's somebody I can't remember.
Did John Brown play for the Jets?
Oh, who's that guy? No, who was the running back when we were in college? Chris Ivory. Chris Ivory played for the Jets and Saints.
Oh, I was gonna say Jets and Saints. Demario Davis, right?
I don't know. Try Chris Ivory. I know definitely Chris Ivory played for the Saints.
And he played for the Jets? Okay.
Yeah. He was 33.
If it fails, I'm blaming you.
Yo, if it fails, you don't know who Chris Ivory is. This game is stupid. Don't mean to be like that.
Okay, we got it.
That's right.
So Jets and Cardinals and Dolphins and
32.
Cardinals.
Chris Evert was
Yeah.
a Bill. I didn't know that. Yeah. Jets Cardinals. That's a hard one.
Did Streveler ever play for the Chris
No,
Streveler ever play for the Cardinals?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna rattle off some names. Running back. Any running backs? Did David Johnson ever play for the Jets?
No.
No. Wide receivers. Eric Decker ever play for the Cardinals?
Eric Decker. No. Jets and Cardinals.
Tight end? Any tight end?
I feel like there was a tight end.
What about not Darrell? Antonio Cromartie.
Antonio Cromartie. Yeah. Perfect.
See, that's why I'm here.
He was on the tip of my tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yes, let's go. Okay, last pick. Dolphins and Cardinals for the perfect bracket. Not a perfect bracket, but all completed bracket.
All completed bracket.
Dolphins, Cardinals.
Chase Edmonds?
I know Chase Edmonds played for the Cardinals. Did he play for the Dolphins?
Yeah.
When? Last year?
I feel like one of those years, yeah. Chase Edmonds did. I feel like you should go for it.
I feel like we should. Let's see if we can think of anyone else first, because this is not time.
Oh, so. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Just in case. Dolphins, Cardinals.
Kenyon Drake also played for them.
Kenyon Drake. Yep. Who do you trust more, Kenyon Drake or?
Well, they both hit, but I'm telling you.
You know what? I trust John. That's my teammate. That's my co-host. Let's go Kenyon Drake.
Right. That's right.
If not, we're kicking you off the podcast.
First of all, I said Chase Edmonds as well, but okay.
So which one? I'm letting you choose. Which one do you feel more confident in?
I feel confident in both, but
okay.
I would go Chase Edmonds.
Okay, we're going Chase then. I trust you. This for the perfect bracket. The first.
Wait, never mind. He only played like 4 years. He only played 4 years. Go Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake is a definite hit.
So, John, I'm going to need you to get your phone right now. Google Chase Edmonds. We're not going to use it. I swear to God, if he did play for both. Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake for the win. Got it. Okay.
Nice.
Did Chase Edmonds, look it up. Did Chase Edmonds play for the Dolphins and Cardinals?
Look it up.
So, hey, there's our perfect bracket. We got it done. First one in like 3 or 4 weeks. I got it done without Elijah. I'm just glad we got a Tim Tebow square in there. I had to get a Tim Tebow square in there. But I feel like, the last time me and John got one, John carried. I feel like I carried this one.
Facts. Well, I mean, hey, we had. I mean, yeah, you did have a lot.
Yeah, well, I got Cromartie, Watt, Osweiler, Tebow, Marshall.
First of all, I suggested Osweiler.
You didn't know the name?
I couldn't tell you his name, but I knew who the fuck he was. So I lined it up for you.
So I got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 9.
6 out of 9, pretty good.
But John got the closing one, so I'll give him that. So did your guy play for the?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so either one would have worked.
He was a 4th round pick for the Cardinals, and he played for Miami and the Broncos.
Perfect. Okay, so we are now at the last segment of the show. We're doing a little bit of a different thing. We're doing who can build a better lineup between all the AFC greats. So basically what we're doing is we're doing a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and 2 tight ends. So I think I had the first draft pick last episode.
So
week.
I get this one, right?
So, yeah.
Thanks. I'm going to take Tom Brady.
Karma from last year. Want to say
that's right. You know, that's my revenge. That's my revenge.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. I'll take Patrick Mahomes then.
Over Joe Namath, but okay, I hear you.
Absolutely over Joe Namath.
Joe Namath won the first AFC Super Bowl ever. All right, he was 17-point underdog. All right, for someone who bets.
Who would you rather have on your team right now? Prime Patrick Mahomes or prime Joe Namath?
Oh, clearly prime. You know what's funny about the both of them? They both have knee problems. But I'll go Patrick Mahomes, because of the flow. You know what I mean? Joe Namath really didn't have good hair. I mean, some people thought he did, but I personally hate it. So,
your turn, sir.
All right. Wide receiver.
Also, shout out to your fan or your supporter, Larry, I believe.
Oh yeah, Mr. Wilson. Yeah,
Yes. Shout out
Larry
to you guys.
Wilson.
Shout out
Hell
to you
yeah.
for commenting. We love your comments, especially
Yeah,
John.
thank you, Mr. Wilson. That's
You
what's
know,
up.
me and Elijah like comments too. I'm just saying. It's not the John show. It's the
Oh
Bark
no,
Central
John.
podcast. No, I'm
No,
joking.
Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson's cool. He likes you guys too. He was telling me about it.
We appreciate the love, Mr. Wilson. Shout out to you. Which one? I just want to get a quick shout out to him. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yo, clip that for later though.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what's up. All right. So wide receiver. Where do I go running back? You know what, wide receiver. I'll just go the greatest to never win a Super Bowl, Wes Welker.
As your pick?
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't think he's never won a Super Bowl.
Are you positive?
I'm pretty positive.
You want to go with that pick?
Wes Welker.
Okay. Give me
because Tom Brady connection. It just works. He I know it's a slot, so
I'll take Randy Moss then.
Okay, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Randy. I need another big guy. AFC. I'm gonna go Tony Gonzalez.
Ooh.
No, actually, no. I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna go Travis Kelce, just so you can't have that connection. Sorry.
I'll go Gronk then. That's fine.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go Tony Gonzalez as my second tight end.
Let me go LaDainian Tomlinson, my running back.
Damn it, good running back.
So I got Mahomes, LT, Randy Moss, and Gronk. Ooh.
Great running back.
Wes Welker at second pick is nasty.
bro. Honestly, I think that's a great pick. I know everyone
over
any
any
wide receiver. He's the best slot wide receiver of all time. I'll probably give it to him. Who's never won a Super Bowl, bro? Come on.
So you draft Wes Welker over Randy Moss?
Yeah, I drafted him over Wayne Corbett too. I was going to draft Wayne Corbett. I swear to God, I was going to draft Wayne Corbett.
Your team.
I mean, hey, bro, name me a better slot wide receiver of all time. Give me.
I can name you a better wide receiver of all time.
Slot wide receiver. He owns that position. Tom Brady and him invented the damn slot wide receiver position.
Hey, do you? Who's your next pick?
This is hard because I'm it's on like the tip of my tongue. All right, hold on. I have Tony Gonzalez. I have Travis Kelce. I have Wes Welker. I have Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Good connections so far. Good connections. I should have picked Gronk. That would have been a good Tom and Gronk thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I need to leave you a tight end that you remembered. You know what I mean? I picked Tony Gonzalez, probably the two best Chiefs tight ends of all time. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking for a wide receiver. Jerry Rice was in the NFC. Is there technically playing for the AFC too, but doesn't that count?
I mean, technically,
yeah. I'll go T.O.
T.O.
I need a big wide receiver, T.O.
Give me Antonio Gates.
Okay, cool.
Antonio Gates and Rob. Woo!
First of all, don't even come at my combo is way better than your combo for tight end. Don't even try to be like that.
What's your other tight end?
Kelce and Gonzalez?
Stop. It's better.
Don't mean to be like that.
I got the better wide receiver, though. It's fine.
I mean, I have T.O., Wes, and I need one more.
Go ahead.
I need one more. Oh, who's a good running back? LT was it was a really good pick. I really compliment you on that pick. Did Adrian Peterson play for any AFC teams? I don't think so.
Adrian Peterson teams. Let's see, Vikings, Saints, Cardinals, Redskins, Lions, Titans. There we go. Titans.
Okay. I'm gonna go Marvin Harrison.
Ooh, good pick. Okay.
That kind of cancels out your Randy Moss pick. No offense.
Wide receiver. Let me go. No, I don't want to go with him. You know what? Let me go running back. Let me go. It may not be probably the best pick at running back, but I'm just going off solely John's reaction. Someone to compliment LT. Let me get Curtis Martin.
That's fine. You just. I can't believe you just blew that. Wait, I don't have a running back, right? I don't have a running back, right?
No.
Okay, I don't yet, right? Okay,
No.
so for my first one, I'm gonna go with probably the greatest of all time, Jim Brown.
Cleveland, yeah.
Broke the color barrier. Please, Jim Brown. I'm just saying, Jim Brown. All right.
Okay. My next pick. So I got my 2 receivers. I got my 2 running backs. I got my
Wait, no,
quarterback.
you need 3 receivers.
I know. I'm saying what I got so far. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. My bad. Sorry.
I got my 2 tight ends. I got my 2 running backs. I got my quarterback. So I just need 2 wide receivers. So I got Randy Moss.
You just need. I thought you were at 1, aren't you?
Yeah. I said I have Randy Moss. I just need 2 more.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Let's go T.O.
I already have T.O.
Oh, you do? Chad Johnson.
Yeah. Okay.
Chad Ochocinco.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Former Patriot as well.
You're 100% right. That LT was very, very good. I'm gonna go. Damn. I don't want to get canceled.
You want to say Ray Rice?
No, I was gonna say OJ, but we're talking about greatest AFCs of all time.
Yeah, we're talking about talent. We're not talking about.
I get that, but still, I'm not gonna put him in my top. You know what I mean? Personally, I don't mean to be like that, but there's somebody on the tip of my tongue that is just missing just missing it. I don't remember.
Who wide receivers again?
I'm trying to remember. Okay, so this is my team so far. I have Tom Brady at the helm, right? I have Jim Brown at running back. I'm missing a running back. I have my wide receivers are T.O., Marvin Harrison, and Wes Welker. And my 2 tight ends are Travis Kelce and Tony Gonzalez. I'm just saying, I'm pretty damn good right now. I'm just saying. I'll give you a rating.
I'm so glad I got one last wide receiver pick left.
I know you need it.
Trust me, this whole pick will probably blow the game.
Like for you winning it?
Absolutely.
Get the heck out of it. I need a good running back though. I'm on the. Oh, bam! Marshawn Lynch, beast mode.
Buffalo Bills. There we go.
Buffalo Bills.
So to finish the draft.
Okay, who do you have? Wide
receiver. 49ers. Oakland Raiders.
That's fine. You can have Jerry Rice. That's the end of his career, bro.
Okay, you chose people at the end of the career too.
Okay, when no. T.O. at the end, you're talking about? Because technically he played his
49ers, Cowboys, Eagles. Yep.
Fine. We'll do all time.
Yeah,
Jerry Rice is fine all time.
Yeah.
You probably got me then. You probably got me in the wide receiver category. But I mean, overall draft though, Phil, it's pretty good.
That Wes Welker pick killed you, not gonna lie to you.
I really don't think it did. I think he is so underestimated, and I can't believe, like, no offense.
No, don't get me wrong. I think he's a good wide receiver, but your first wide receiver off the board.
He's a top 10 wide receiver of all time. Like
Wes Welker? Oh.
Yes. Like he is that. Like if he is the best slot receiver of all time, okay, then that means you can tell me that there are 4 best on the end receiver, but you can't tell me there's anyone else that lines up in this part that runs better routes than.
He could be a top 10 slot receiver. He's not a top 10 receiver of all time, though.
He is a top 10 receiver of all time. He's the best that's never won. He's the best wide receiver that's never won a Super Bowl.
Randy Moss?
No. What do you call it? Randy Moss didn't. No, he didn't win one either. Oh well. No,
Calvin
I honestly think I think it's
Calvin Johnson.
It's definitely Wes. It's definitely Wes. Want to know why it's Wes?
Over Calvin Johnson?
No, because honestly, because Calvin only played with one team. Wes played with both Peyton and Tom. Never won a Super Bowl.
Did Terrell Owens win a Super Bowl?
Yeah. I think he won with the 49ers, didn't he?
Check.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he never won a Super Bowl either. Maybe
John,
they're all in that category.
You might have to retract that statement, sir.
I honestly don't, bro. Because honestly, you can't name me. I mean, sure.
I just named you three people.
What? Who?
No, he didn't have no championships.
Okay, fine.
Still, you said the best receiver did not win a ring. Moss,
it is
Johnson,
Wes Welker.
T.O.
It's Wes Welker. It's Wes Welker. I don't mean to be like it. Really is Wes Welker. He played with Tom and Peyton. There's not a better combo you can give me. Those wide receivers never played with other people. Like he played. You can give me Randy Moss because he played with whatever, and the Giants beat him twice.
Well,
you can't give me. He played with Tony Romo. Is he winning a ring with Tony Romo? He
played with 49ers.
Yeah, Steve Smith at the end of his career.
But still, those talents alone.
I get the
individual talent. Yeah,
I get
those two receivers are better than Wes Welker.
I'm just saying, like quarterbacks. Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls.
I know, but we're talking about solely wide receiver talent here.
Yeah, no, but like
those 3 talents are better than Wes Welker.
Wes Welker put records up. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like that. But like when we're talking about chances to win a Super Bowl, the best to never win. He was on all those great teams. He was on all the great Patriots teams that never won. He was on all the great Broncos teams that never won. They never won. Isn't that sad? You don't think that's sad? Come on. I do think that's sad. I mean, you could say T.O., but like I just don't think he played with a strong enough quarterback.
But I think because your statement is he's the best wide receiver to never win a Super Bowl.
To never win a Super Bowl, yeah.
There's 3 players I just named that are a lot better than him.
Yeah, but they never played with the help he played with.
No, but I'm saying.
But that's what you have to factor the help in.
It doesn't. You don't.
Yes, you do. 100%. You don't think you have to factor their help into those people?
No, we're talking about solely.
Other than Donovan McNabb, there's no one that T.O. would have played with that would have ever won him a Super Bowl.
If we're talking solely skill wise, they're all 3 are better than them, and they haven't won a championship.
Yeah, but look who they played for.
They're still wide receivers that are better than Wes Welker.
Yeah,
that's the argument here.
Yeah, but they never played on a team that could win a Super Bowl. That's what my argument is too.
Randy Moss?
He only with Tom. That's what I'm saying. He only had 2 times in his whole year. What? Oh, I guess. Are you going to count the Culpepper years? You think Donovan Culpepper was that good? We could count those years if you want.
You possibly count Terrell Owens on the Eagles, on the 49ers, on the Cowboys?
I mean, only on the Eagles, not on the Cowboys. Maybe on the 49ers, but Steve Smith was way out of his prime at that point.
Yeah, but if the statement is not to win a Super Bowl, that technically counts as them not winning Super Bowl. They're wide receivers.
No, I get that. But like what I'm saying is like Wes Welker had opportunities to not win to win Super Bowls, and he just couldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like I get you're talking about like how good the one player was, but what I'm saying is football is not a game of one player. You know what I mean? You depend on other people. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is like with those circumstances, that's why I would put Wes Welker in that category. Because unfortunately, he had a lot of opportunities.
He's in that category, but he's not the top guy, in my opinion.
Okay, I still think he's top 5. I think you can't play with Peyton and Tom and not win a Super Bowl and not be in that conversation. I don't mean to be like that.
I agree with that, but
I don't. 9 Super Bowls over a 10-year span.
I agree with that. I just don't think he's the most talented wide receiver to not win a Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Because Wes Welker is saying if you're saying he is the greatest wide receiver to not win a Super Bowl, that's crazy.
But you're also talking about guys that like I mean, I get that they should have won. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, some of them were vaguely misunderstood. Like Terrell Owens.
Yeah, other worldly wide receivers that people have in their top 5 as all time. Like Terrell Owens, you can make the case. Randy Moss, he's on the conversation for top 3 wide receivers of all time.
Sure. I mean, yeah, Randy Moss is right there. Randy Moss is probably number 1. If we're talking about real number 1s, probably Randy Moss. But what I'm saying is, Culpepper, Randall Cunningham.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I get the sense. I get the sentiment that you played with 2 of the best quarterbacks of all time. You should have a ring, right? I get the sentiment. It was just worded. It was worded poorly.
But you got to factor that in. Yeah. Well,
I get what you're trying to say.
But like, also, I mean, this dude. I mean, and also, I mean, I don't mean to bring it up, but like, size should matter. This guy's not 6'5". You know what I mean? He's catching all these balls and not 6'5".
To our lady followers, does size matter for the ladies that watch Ball Central? Just comments.
That's a weird question to ask, Phil. But
you said the size matter? No, I'm joking. Okay. So we'll end it on that note. I go what you're trying to say.
You go.
He is one of the talents that should have won a Super Bowl due to his talent and the talent he had around him. I'll agree with you on that.
And I mean, and for having things that people just thought he didn't have. You know
if he didn't drop that ball against the Giants, we would have.
Oh my God! Why don't be like that, Phil? That was a bad throw by Brady. Dude had to twist around his whole body. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no worry. Yeah, but he should have won Super Bowl. But he's also on the talented Broncos offense. Wasn't he on that team the one that got smacked by the Panthers? The one that got smacked by the Seahawks. Sorry.
It was the Seahawks.
Damn. Okay. So.
And the year after he retired, and then like 2 years later, they won with Peyton or whatever.
Yeah. So, hey, that's a wrap. An hour and 38. We went a little bit over time, but good conversation. That's what happens.
Good debate.
Good debates.
Yeah.
So, hey, before we head out, last words. What you got, John?
Nothing much. I mean, I'm excited for the NFL season. It was fun talking football. It's fun getting Phil's perspective on the game. Just because sometimes it's drastically different. Sometimes it's on point. I'm not one of the people underestimating Buffalo, but I guess I found out tonight Phil was, and that was a surprise to me. So, who says you can't get surprised? Phil, your last words?
Just a reminder, next week is our 1 year anniversary on YouTube. We started this account September 1st, correct? And usually we record on Tuesdays or Thursdays, but we will be uploading this episode on that Friday, which is September 1st. So make sure you tune in, show some love. We've been doing this on YouTube and recording podcasts for about a year. I mean, obviously we've recorded audios for a little bit longer, but I have to say the official start of the Ball Central thing started, on YouTube September 1st. So, hey, how do we feel about the 1 year coming up, John?
I love it. I'm a big September person. There's a lot of birthdays in my family. My birthday's in September. A lot of fun things happen. The leaves fall. It finally gets cool. You know what I mean? There's football. You got that pumpkin spice latte almost in the air. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like,
you're trying to filter out female viewers. Gotcha. You're trying to.
We're all over the place. Let's get it.
Right. Yeah. So, hey, our 1 year is coming up. We will be recording the next week. I just want to say thank you to everyone that showed love. Yeah. Shout out Larry.
Shout out Larry.
Everyone that's been a part of the process. Our intern, George, Waleed, Akeem, Elijah, John, etc., etc. Shout out to the team. It's been one official year. Facts. We've had our up or downs. We had our fights. But, we work as a team at the end of the day. So, with that being said, next week, we have some money to be made. We have a lot of things coming out. Our season predictions, playoff pictures, division winners, Super Bowl winners, award winners. So, a lot to talk about. And opportunities for us to make money via bets, season bets for DraftKings, maybe DraftKings, FanDuel, and Price Picks. It could be stat bets. It could be season bets. How many wins? How many losses? Who's going to make the AFC conference? John already has the Jets one put in, so he's already ahead of time. So, yeah, better odds. I don't blame you. So, with that being said, Ball Central Podcast. You can check us out down below on all the audio stuff. Google, Spotify for podcasters, and Apple Podcasts, and visually on YouTube and Spotify. So with that being said, from me and John, we will see you next week for our 1 year on Baller Central.